Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Om Agyana Timarandasya Gyanajana Shalakaya Chakshurun Milidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Gurava Bhistam Supurakam Guraganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhakyan Vidam Sundaram Mande Vishwa Guruncha Divyad Bhagavat Premnavi Bijapradam Devam Divyatanum Suchanda Varanam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Bandatam Shubharam Madeka Sharanam Nyashishvara Shridaram Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabharanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami. This is Adi-lila chapter 9, the desire tree of devotional service. Tam Srimad Krishna Chaitanya Devam Bande Jagadgurum Yashyanu Kampaya Swapi Mahabdim Sandarit Sukham. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual master of the entire world, Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even a dog can swim across a great ocean. Sometimes it is to be seen that a dog can swim in the water for a few yards and then come back to the shore. However, it is stated that if a dog is blessed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can swim across an ocean. Similarly, the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj, placing himself in a helpless condition, states that he has no personal power, but by the desire of Lord Chaitanya expressed through the Vaishnavas in the Madan Mohan Vigraha, it is possible for him to cross an ocean to present Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, transcendental ocean. Jaya Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Gaurachandra, Jaya Jaya Dvaita Jaya Jaya Nityananda. All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who is known as Gaurahari. All glories to Sri Advaita Acharya and Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Jaya Jaya Sri Vasadi Gaurabhaktagan, Sarva Bhishta Purti Hetu Jahara Smaran. All glories to the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, headed by Srivas Thakur. In order to fulfill all my desires, I remember their lotus feet. So, this is chapter, the desire tree of devotional service. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. I also remember the six Goswamis, Srila Rupa, Srila Sanatan, Shri Raghunath Bhatta, Shri Jiva, Shri Gopal Bhatta, and Dasa Raghunath. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. This is a process for writing transcendental literature. A sentimentalist who has no Vaishnava qualifications cannot produce writings, transcendental writings. There are many fools who consider Krishna Lila to be a subject of art and who write or paint pictures about the pastimes of Lord Krishna with the gopis, sometimes depicting them in a manner practically obscene. These fools take pleasure in material sense gratification. But one who wants to make advancement in spiritual life must scrupulously avoid their literature, unless one is a servant of Krishna and the Vaishnavas, as Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami presents himself to be in offering respects to Lord Chaitanya, his associates and disciples. One should not attempt to write transcendental literature. Well, I will say that I will add some remark also that a lot of people I hear who are trying to be practicing devotees. They listen to kirtans sung by professional singers and people who will depict the kirtan in a manner of enjoyment, like modern music. And I don't really see much benefit in that either. Esava prasadi liki Chaitanya Lilagun, Janivana Janikori Apana Shodhan. It is by the mercy of all these Vaishnavas and Gurus that I attempt to write about the pastimes and qualities of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whether I know it or not, it is for self-purification that I write this book. Malakara Swayam Krishna Prema Mara Taru Swayam Data Bhukta Tatfalanam Yastam Chaitanyam Ashraye. I take shelter of the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who himself is the tree of transcendental love of Krishna, its gardeners, and also the bestower and enjoyer of its fruits. So Mahaprabhu is the tree of divine love of Krishna. He's also its gardener, and he is also who is distributing the fruits from that tree. Prabhu kohayami Vishvambara nama dori namasartaka hoy jadi preme Vishvabori. Lord Chaitanya thought, my name is Vishvambar, one who is maintaining the entire universe. Its meaning will be actualized if I can fill the whole universe with love of Godhead. Eta chinti loila prabhu malakara dharma nabadipe arambila followed jhana karma. Thinking in this way, he accepted the duty of a planter or a gardener and began to grow a garden in Navadip. Excuse me. Sri Chaitanya Malakara Pratibhite Ani Bhakti Kalpataru Ropila Sinchi Ichapani. Thus the Lord brought the desire tree of devotional service to this earth and became his gardener. He sowed the seed and sprinkled upon it the water of his will. In many places, devotional service has been compared to a creeper or a plant. One has to sow the seed of the devotional creeper, Adi-lila, within one's heart. As one regularly hears and chants, the seed will fructify and gradually grow into a mature plant and then produce the fruit of devotional service, namely love of Godhead, which the gardener, Malakar, can then enjoy without impediments. Jaya Sri Madhavapuri Krishna Premapur Bhakti Kalpatarur Teho Pratama Ankur. All glories to Sri Madhavendra Puri, the storehouse of all devotional service unto Krishna. He is the desire tree of devotional service, and it is in him that the seed of devotional service first fructified. Sri Madhavendra Puri, also known as Sri Madhavapuri, belonged to the disciplic succession from Madhvacharya and was a greatly celebrated sannyasi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the third disciplic descendant from Sri Madhavendra Puri. The process of worship in the disciplic succession of Madhvacharya was full of ritualistic ceremonies, with hardly a sign of love of Godhead. Sri Madhavendra Puri was the first person in that disciplic succession to exhibit the symptoms of love of Godhead, and the first to write a poem beginning with the words, Adi-lila Dayadranata, O Supremely Merciful Personality of Godhead. And that poem is the seed of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's cultivation of love of Godhead. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he has explained that where it refers here to Madhavendra Puri as being the Ankur, that is the first person who's really showing Mahaprabhu's full conception of all the way up to Madhura Rasa, giving all the relationships with Krishna. Krishna came and he in Vrindavan, and he was engaged in loving exchanges with his devotees. And there he exhibited relationships in all the different rasas, in Dasha Ras, Sakya Ras, Vatsalya Ras, and Madhura Ras. But previously, this kind of, the worship of Shishi Radha and Krishna, that was not really known in the Madhvacharya line. They're worshipping like a deity of I believe it's Nartak Gopal, and it's not with Srimati Radharani, but Madhavendra Puri first showed Ankur. He was the first showing of what Mahaprabhu's conception is. Then his disciple was Sri Ishwara Puri, and then Mahaprabhu, as mentioned, third generation. He's the disciple of Ishwara Puri. Sri Ishwara Puri Rupe Ankur Pushta Hoila Apane Chaitanya Mali Skanda Upajila. The seed of devotional service next fructified in the form of Sri Ishwara Puri, and then the gardener himself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, became the main trunk of the tree of devotional service. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhashya, Sri Ishwara Puri was a resident of Kumarahat, where there is now a railway station known as Kumarahata, nearby there. So these remarks are given, and I don't read about all the geographical situations of where everyone is from, but this is very useful information because there are many devotees that, they will actually want to go on pilgrimages and visit these places, and there's indications how to get there. And that's included in the extensive purports of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Nija Chintya Shakye Mali Hoya Skanda Hoy Sakala Shakarase Skanda Mulashroy. By his inconceivable powers, the Lord became the gardener, the trunk and the branches simultaneously. Paramananda Puriyara Kesha Bharati, Brahmananda Puriyara Brahmananda Bharati, Vishnu Puri Kesha Puri Puri Krishnananda, Srina Shringa Tirtha Ara Puri Sukhananda, Ainavamula Nika Shila Brikamule, A Navamule Brika Korila Nischale. Paramananda Puri, Kesha Bharati, Brahmananda Puri, and Brahmananda Bharati, Sri Vishnu Puri, Kesha Puri, Krishnananda Puri, Sri Nisringatirtha, and Sukhananda Puri. These 9 sannyasi roots all spread from the trunk of the tree. Thus the tree stood steadfastly on the strength of these 9 roots. So, this was also a principle of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that previously in our sampradaya, which is really, we can say, extensively developed by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there was no sannyas given to Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Mahaprabhu, and he had these 9 sannyasis. But at the time, they didn't take sannyas, from Gaudiya Vaishnavas. That didn't exist. They all took sannyas in the Shankar Sampradaya. But later they showed themselves all as followers of Mahaprabhu and as pure Vaishnavas. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur introduced sannyas in our line, and the reason he did so is he was creating basically a preaching, we can say like a preaching army. And the sannyasis were meant to be the foundation or the generals who would help with the preaching. And, we have many stalwart devotees who are sannyasis, who are brahmacharis, both saffron wearing brahmacharis and white wearing brahmacharis. Many stalwart ladies also, but some persons would be chosen that or would want to take some instrumental role. And here, these are not 9 persons. They are like the roots, but these are not the principal devotees for preaching. That would be Rup Sanatan, Ramananda Roy, Gadadhar Pandit, certainly Swarup Damodar and others. They were the prominent preachers, but this served as some foundation for the tree, the roots of the tree of Mahaprabhu's tree of devotion. Madhyamula Paramananda Puri Mahadir Ashtadike Ashtamula Brika Koilastira. With the sober engraved Paramananda Puri as the central root and the other 8 roots in the 8 directions, the tree of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stood firmly. Skandera Upari Bahu Shaka Upajila Upari Shaka Asankhya Hoila. From the trunk grew many branches, and above them innumerable others. Bisha Shaka Kori Ek Mando Maha Shaka Chaila Brahmananda Sakal. Thus the branches of the Chaitanya tree formed a cluster or society with great branches covering all the universes. All the universe. So here Srila Prabhupada notes that ISKCON, or the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is one of the branches of the Chaitanya tree, as is the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat and its branches. Another branch and sub-branch with sub-branches of the Chaitanya tree. Ekaka Shakate Upashaka Shata Shata Jata Upajila Shaka Ke Ganibe Kata. From each branch grew many hundreds of some branches. No one can count how many branches thus grew. Mukya Shaka Ganer Nama Aganan Ageta Koriba Shuna Brikera Barnan. I shall try to name the foremost of the innumerable branches. Please hear the description of the Chaitanya tree. Now there will be listed in subsequent chapters the branches of the other prominent devotees, like the branches of Nityananda Prabhu, the branches of also of Advaitacharya, the branches of Gadadhar Pandit, like that. So now what we're hearing are those persons who are closely associated with Mahaprabhu as his students and disciples. Of course, Mahaprabhu isn't so much formally giving initiation. We'll see from many of the names of the devotees that they have names that in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, those names wouldn't be given, different names, like Brahmananda or something like that. Well, there was a devotee in ISKCON named Brahmananda, but generally those names were given because they were followers of Mahaprabhu, but they weren't given those names by Mahaprabhu, just like many persons when they come and take initiation, even if they have a name that's a little unusual, but it still has some spiritual reference. In first initiation especially, the name would not be changed. The last names would be changed because they would be coming from another, we'll say, the Judeo-Christian tradition. Okay, I shall try to name the foremost of the innumerable branches. Please hear the description of the Chaitanya tree. Vrikera Uparishaka Hoila Duiskanda Ek Advaitanama Ar Nityananda. At the top of the tree, the trunk branched into 2. One trunk was named Sri Advaita Acharya, and the other was Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Seduiskande Bahu Shaka Upajila Tara Upashaka Gani Jagat Chaila. From these 2 branches grew many branches and sub-branches that covered the entire world. Borashaka Upashaka Tara Upashaka Jatu Upajila Tara Ke Koribe Leka. These branches and sub-branches and their sub-branches became so numerous that no one can actually write about them. Sishya Prasishya Ara Upasishyagan Jagat Vyapila Tara Nahika Ganan. Thus the disciples and the grand disciples and their admirers spread throughout the entire world, and it is not possible to enumerate them all. So naturally, there's so many devotees, not all can be enumerated. When we hear Chaitanya Charitamrita, we'll hear of some hundreds of names, but actually the followers of Mahaprabhu were unlimited. Udambara Vrika Jena Fale Sarva Ange Hemata Bhakti Vrika Sarvatra Falalage. As a big fig tree bears fruits all over its body, each part of the tree of devotional service bore fruit. The tree of devotional service is not of this material world. It grows in the spiritual world, where there is no distinction between one part of the body and another. It is something like a tree of sugar. For whichever part of such a tree one tastes, it is always sweet. The tree of bhakti has varieties of branches, leaves, and fruits, but they are all meant for the service of the Lord. There are 9 different processes of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Parasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasham, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. But all of them are meant only for the service of the Lord. Therefore, whether one hears, chants, remembers, or worships, one's activities will yield the same result. Which one of these processes will be the most suitable for a particular devotee depends upon his taste. It is said previously, the taste from the tree of Mahaprabhu will always be sweet and wonderful. Mulaskander Shaka Ara Upashaka Gane Lagila Je Primafala Amritake Jine. Since Mahaprabhu was the original trunk, the taste of the fruits that grew on the branches and sub-branches surpassed the taste of nectar. Pakila Je Primafala Amritera Madhur Vilaya Chaitanya Mali Nahi Loya Mula. The fruits ripened and became sweet and nectarian. The gardener, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, distributed them without asking any price. So, this is the nature of our preaching mission. Our intention is not to, make any price, nor necessarily are we interested in making any compromise on Mahaprabhu's devotional principles. To market the mission, we could make some kind of water things down or make some compromise, but we're not willing to do so. Nor do what we want to give is something pure, which our acharyas have given us. But although it is the most wonderful thing, and as we mentioned, Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, if you can purchase it at any price, then do so. But actually, the price that we're asking is that a person take devotion into their life and take it seriously. So, Tri Jagate Jata Ache Dana Ratnamani Ekfalera Muyakori Tahanahigani. All the wealth in the 3 worlds cannot equal the value of one such nectarian fruit of devotional service. Mage bana mage keho patra va apatra ihara bichara nahi jane deya matra. Not considering who asked for it and who did not, nor who was fit and who unfit to receive it, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed the fruit of devotional service. This is also the nature of many devotees when they come. It's natural that one will feel oneself to be unfit. But that is the natural humility of devotees. But, Mahaprabhu's giving his mercy to everyone, whether they consider themselves fit or unfit. Or not even just considering themselves fit or unfit, whether they're even fit or unfit. Someone comes and they will become, by the mercy of Gurudev and the Vaishnavas, Mahaprabhu, naturally, they'll become qualified devotees, advanced. Anjali Anjali Bhare Fele Chaturdishe Daridra Kunaya Kaya Malakara Hase. The gardener, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, distributed handful after handful of fruit in all directions. And when the poor Hungry people ate the fruit. The gardener smiled with great pleasure. The gardener, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, distributed handful after handful of fruit in all directions. And when the poor, hungry people ate the fruit, the gardener smiled with great pleasure. Malakarako Heshuna Brika Paribar Mulashaka Upashaka Jatika Prakar. Mahaprabhu thus addressed the multifarious varieties of branches and sub-branches of the tree of devotional service. Alukika Brikakori Sarvendriya Karma Stabara Hoya Dare Jagamera Dharma. Since the tree of devotional service is transcendental, every one of its parts can perform the action of all the others. Although a tree is supposed to be immovable, this tree nevertheless moves. Since the tree of devotional service is transcendental, every one of its parts can perform the action of all the others. Although a tree is supposed to be immovable, this tree nevertheless moves. It is our experience in the material world that trees stand in one place, but in the spiritual world, a tree can go from one place to another. Therefore, everything in the spiritual world is called alokika, uncommon or transcendental. Another feature of such a tree is that it can act universally. In the material world, the roots of a tree go deep within the earth to gather food, but in the spiritual world, the twigs, branches, and leaves of the upper portion of the tree can act like the roots. Evrikera angahoy saba sa chetan bariya vyapila sabe sakala buban. All the parts of this tree are spiritually cognizant, and thus, as they grow, they spread all over the world. Maybe you'd like some water, Marge. Ekala malakara ami tahan kahanjab ekala ba katafala padiya vilab. I am the only gardener. How many places can I go? How many fruits can I pick and distribute? Here Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu indicates that the distribution of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra should be performed by combined forces. Although he is the Lord himself, he laments, how can I act alone? How can I alone pick the fruit and distribute it all over the world? This indicates that all classes of devotees should combine to distribute the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without consideration of the time, place, or situation. Ekala utaya dite hoya parishrama kehopai kehonapai rahimane brahma. It would certainly be a very laborious task to pick the fruits and distribute them alone, and still I suspect that some would receive them and others would not. Ateva ami agya dilun sabakare jahan tahan premafal deha jare tare. Therefore, I order every man within this universe to accept this Krishna conscious movement and distribute it everywhere. So not just every man, therefore I order everyone within this universe to accept this Krishna conscious movement and distribute it everywhere. That's Mahaprabhu's order. In this connection, there is a song sung by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Ineche osadi maya nashibara lagi Harinama Maha Mantra lao tumi magi Bhakti Vinod Prabhu Charane Padiya Say Harinama Mantra Loila Magiya. The Sankirtan movement has been introduced by Mahaprabhu just to dispel the illusion of Maya by which everyone in this material world thinks oneself to be a product of matter and therefore to have many duties pertaining to the body. Actually, the living entity is not one's material body, but spirit soul. One has a spiritual need to be eternally blissful and full of knowledge, but unfortunately one identifies oneself with the body. So Mahaprabhu is asking everyone to spread Krishna consciousness, to relieve persons of this of the material conception of life. Ekala malakara ami katafalakab nadiyava e fala araki koriba. I'm the only gardener. If I do not distribute these fruits, what shall I do with them? How many fruits can I alone eat? Atmai chamrite brika shuni nirantar tahate asangya phala brikyarupar. By the desire of the Supreme Lord, water has been sprinkled all over the tree, and thus there are innumerable fruits of love of Godhead. Ateva sabphala deho jaritare kaya hauk lok ajara amare. Distribute this Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. Let people eat these fruits and ultimately become free from old age and death. Jagat vyapiya mora habe punya kyati suke loya lok mora gahibeka kirti. If the fruits are distributed all over the world, my reputation as a pious man will be known everywhere, and thus all people will glorify my name with great pleasure. Bharata bhumite hoila manushya janmajar janmasartaka kori kora parupakar. One who has taken birth, one's birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharat Varsha, should make one's life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. So this is a core verse that is often used in preaching to Indians. It's in Bengali, which of course is Bengalis understand. Persons of other parts of India, there's so many languages spoken, but they can get the purport of this verse. Bharata bhumite hoila manusya janmajar janma sartaka kori kora parupakar. One who has taken one's birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharat Varsha, should make one's life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. Prabhupada would used to preach that those who are born in Bharat Varsha, those who are born in India, they're not just meant for some kind of technological or economic advancement, but they're actually meant for paru upakar, for doing good for other people. That should be the special quality. But we can also expand the meaning to say that anyone within the Krishna conscious movement, we're meant for doing parupakar, to do Mahaprabhu's work of benefiting other people, not to have our own self-interest, but rather we want to benefit other persons. Etavad janma safalyam dehina miha dehishu pranar artar diya bacha shreya acharanam sada. It is the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with one's life, wealth, intelligence, and words. So real benefit is not just, we can say, feeding the poor is certainly a virtuous activity, but what will you feed them? If you fill someone's belly, they'll be hungry again within some hours or a day later, but if you give them something of Krishna consciousness, that will be of eternal and lasting benefit. That will not diminish when one leaves this world, but one will continue in one's progressive development. Therefore, as Srila Sridhar Maharaj has said, the purpose of having a mission, purpose of having an ashram here in Soquel is not to act as a retreat, but rather to serve as a point for distributing sukriti to the general population. Praninam upakaraya jad eveha paratracha karmana manasa vacha tad eva matiman bhajet. By one's work, thoughts, and words, an intelligent person must perform actions which will be beneficial for all living entities in this life and the next. Mali manushyamar nahirajadan phala phula diyakori punya uparjan. I am merely a gardener. I have neither a kingdom nor very great riches. I simply have some fruits and flowers that I wish to utilize to achieve piety in my life. This is the mood of the This is the mood of the gardener of the tree of devotional service, Mahaprabhu. When I have these fruits of love of God and then some flowers of devotional service, and I just wish to distribute that. Malihoya brikka hoilan eta ichate sarva pranira upakara hoy brikka hoite. Although I am acting as a gardener, I also want to be the tree, for thus I can bestow benefit upon all. Aho eshambaram janma sarva prani upajivinam sujana sheva yesham vai vimuka yanti nartina. Just see how these trees are maintaining every living entity. Their birth is successful. Their behavior is just like that of great personalities. For anyone who asks anything from a tree never goes away disappointed. This is the magnanimity of trees mentioned here. This verse. There are some persons who naturally they want to, maintain the vegetation in this world, and especially the trees, because they know that the trees serve as the lungs for the world and produce oxygen and help the entire planet. But so they do that also considering, that that will be beneficial for humanity. But here, what Mahaprabhu is expressing goes deeper. It's expressing the natural kindness and magnanimity of a tree. Just see how these trees are maintaining every living entity. Their birth is successful. Their behavior is just like that of great personalities. For anyone who asks anything from a tree never goes away disappointed. A Agya Koila Jadi Chaitanya Malakar Paramananda Paila Brikka Paribar. The descendants of the tree, the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, were very glad to receive this order directly from the Lord. Jai Jahan Tahan Dana Kori Premafal Valas Bade Matalok Hoila Sakal. The fruit of love of God is so delicious that wherever a devotee distributes it, those who relish the fruit anywhere in this world immediately become intoxicated. But we mean intoxicated with love for the Lord and imbued with devotional service. Mahamadaka Premafal Peta Barikai Matila Sakala Lok Hasenachigai. The fruit of love of God distributed by Mahaprabhu is such a great intoxicant that anyone who eats it, filling one's belly, immediately becomes mad by it and automatically chants, dances, laughs, and enjoys. Well, there's no need for any other kinds of mundane intoxicants when one is receiving the greatest nectar, most intoxicating nectar in the form of, devotional service and Mahaprabhu's blessings, distributed by the Vaishnavas. Keho Gadagari Jai, Keho Tahunkar, Dekyanandita Haya Hase Malakar. When Mahaprabhu, the great gardener, sees that people are chanting, dancing, and laughing, and that some of them are rolling on the ground, and some are making loud humming sounds, he smiles with great pleasure. Now, the loud humming sounds here mentioned are hunkar, sometimes translated as roaring, making great pleasure, shouting in great pleasure, when they become ecstatic. Also here, we'll read, when Mahaprabhu, the great gardener, sees that people are chanting, dancing, and laughing, and that some of them are rolling on the ground and some are making loud humming sounds, he smiles with great pleasure. E malakarakaya e primafal, niravari mata rohe, bishvasa biva. The great gardener, Lord Chaitanya, personally eats its fruit, and as a result, he constantly remains mad, as if helpless and bewildered. Sarva loke mata koila apana saman premi mata lok bina nahi dekian. With his Sankirtan movement, the Lord made everyone mad like himself. We do not find anyone who was not intoxicated by his Sankirtan movement. Jai Jai Purve Ninda Koila Boli Mato Jao Se Ho Fala Kai Nache Bole Balo Balo. Persons who had formerly criticized Mahaprabhu, calling him a drunkard, also ate the fruit and began to dance, saying, "Very good, very good." Eta kohilun prema phala vitaran ebeshuna phaladata jj shakagan. After describing the Lord's distribution of the fruit of love of Godhead, I now wish to describe the different branches of the tree of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Rupa Raghunath Parijara As Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohe Krishnadas. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi-lila, 9th chapter, describing the desire tree of devotional service. All right. Now, conclude singing Hari Hara. Hari Hara Nama Krishna Janardan Nama Hari Hara. Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyasta Tara Sata Shri Shiman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyasta Tara Sata Shri Shiman Srila Bhakti Rakakshira Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Bharga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhadra Das Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Premsi Golo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad Ki Jai. Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vishwagaranya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Jai Mayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Kuladvip Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Manrani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Sham Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Sripad Bhakti Chandan Parvat Maharaj Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari.
Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj Ki
Jai.